level that's tilted is laying on my liqueur water because I just put it back in my case. So these are the patches. It's for the chairs that Bubba scratched up. This is the bottle of wine. That's supposed to make me forget what happened today. I have people be back up in 4.5 hours. Tired. Good thing wine really doesn't get to me. This is my dump basket. When I was cleaning down here, I found so much stuff that go in different spots. So it was a lot easier just to throw it in its dump basket and for me to sort through later. So that was from packing. So right now we're waiting for them to scope the lines, the sewer lines of the house. Praying it's okay, everything's okay with the plumbing lines. Yes, my nails are overdue to be done. They have grown out so much. I need to get them the dip removed, get the dip removed and cut them down. I'm thinking about just getting them completely cut off. Getting them completely cut off into nubs and then letting them grow back. Because the next 3 weeks is going to be crazy moving. We have 10 days to finish packing this house, which is not enough time because we're both working double shifts. Nowhere near enough time. Nowhere near enough time. The kitchen is going to be the hardest room. The second hardest room is going to be the basement. Y'all, I bought 8 of these by accident. I wasn't trying to buy 8 of these. I was trying to buy 4. No, I was trying to make 3. But I purchased 8. So irresponsible. So irresponsible. I'm just tired. Push you back a little bit. My hair stinks. I've got to cut all these braids out and take my hair down and wash my hair. When I leave these oils in too long, they start getting this weird smell to them. And our wedding, this is our wedding license frame, and it is broken. It's missing the clamps here and the clamps here. So we need to replace our wedding license frame. We are going to put it back on the wall when we get to the other house. It's crazy. Crazy. We got married. It's like 4 years, y'all. 4 years. I was 43 when we got married. It's 4 years. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I'm 4 years older than Amanda. I just realized that. So, I don't know. It's just nuts. It's the best decision I ever made in my life. Was marrying her. This pandemic has been horrific on everybody, but I don't regret regret marrying my wife. I don't regret marrying her one bit. But this pandemic has been horrific. So my constant depression and constant stress and has nothing to do with my marriage. It has to do with this pandemic. And it has to do with just life in general and how bad it is. It's just bad. It is just absolutely bad. My baby and I. It's so cute. It's our wedding picture. It's our wedding picture. She's so adorable. I married a good woman. I was so much smaller here. Me in my blue jean jacket. My wife is filling me up. She always says that. She doesn't care where we're at. She's always filling me up. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining one bit. I threw all these pictures in as being, and I didn't wrap it. The other pictures on the wall, all these big pictures on the wall, you can't see them. I'm going to have to wrap them in bubble wrap. But for these, I'm going to put them in paper. And then I'm just going to tape the whole thing around. And tape all the paper around all of them in one stack. That way they don't move too much and the frames don't get cracked. We were at a restaurant. She was sitting at the bench behind me. She snuck in behind me. I was sitting at a booth, and she came into the restaurant and she got on the seat. I just rolled my eyes. I'm sorry. She got in the seat behind me and she reached around. She kissed me, and I took a picture of it because my phone was in my hand. I was taking selfies when she sneak attacked me with kisses. To be this happy, y'all. I mean, you're supposed to be happy in marriage, but how do you be happy and miserable at the same time? I used to always wonder that. How do people be happy and miserable at the same time? I'm miserable, but I'm happily miserable. I'm miserable because my wife is at work and I'm not with her, or she's asleep and I'm not with her, or we need to work on things and she's so tired she has to sleep because she's been at work all day and we're not doing it together. So that's what makes me unhappy. But look at our baby. This is our picture when she was going to Chicago. We had literally gotten married. We had been married for maybe 2 weeks. No, we hadn't been married less than that. We probably been married for a couple of days. And she had already had a trip planned to Chicago, and I couldn't go because I was at work. I had to work. So she's like, well, I'm going to go to Chicago. And she had, you guys know, before, I'm sorry, I had something in my mouth. Before we got married, she fell and she hurt her knee. And when she hurt her knee, we thought she just fractured it or sprained it. We didn't, she had an x-ray and they said no fracture, no break. So she went to her normal wound care doctor. The wound care doctor basically said, okay, I don't think there is, what did she say? She said, I took an x-ray, I don't see a fracture, I don't see a break, you can go to Chicago. She called me, she says, baby, can I still go to Chicago? Because we just got married. I'm like, yes, you can still go to Chicago. You have to keep in mind, when we got married, we didn't have a home to live in. I was living in, and she was living in her apartment, I was living where I was living, and we were looking for a house to move into. So we got married, and then we moved into our house 3 months after we got married. So we got married. A couple days later, she took her trip to Chicago. She's walking around Chicago. So in this picture, I was dropping her off at the train station. I had got up early that morning, and I took her to the train station, and I dropped her off. It didn't even feel weird. It really didn't. She was doing something she wanted to do, and I was fine with it. It didn't bother me one bit. So she went to Chicago. She walked around. She went to the zoo. She did everything she wanted to do. Her knee was hurting, of course. And then came back from Chicago, and that's when the doctor said there was some blood in the fluid that we pulled off your knee. More likely, you probably just tore your ACL. And gave her some and then she was still in too much pain and just was not looking great. So I made her go back to the doctor, and this time instead of taking an X-ray, they took an MRI and found out that she broke her patibular. I can't pronounce it, but it's a little bone that connects your knee to joints. And the doctor said if that bone would have moved just a inch, that she would have been off her leg and off her body, her feet, for almost 6 months to a year, and have to have like major surgery to repair that bone. Tibia? It was a tibia plateau, I think. Don't quote me on it. It's the little bone that connects her knee joints. So then the doctor said, well, you're going to be off work for 6 to 8 weeks. And she's just like, no, I want to go to work. And da-da-da. I'm like, you can't walk on it. The doctor says it shifts. You going to lose your knee. She's like, but I want to do this. I want to do that. I had to rent a wheelchair, y'all, and wheel her ass to the boat for her to gamble. I'm a whipped wife. I tell you, my wife is the boss in our marriage, because my dumb ass is renting wheelchairs, wheeling her around, getting her crutches, getting her walkers, so she can't, because she wasn't supposed to put any weight on that leg at all. It's crazy. I cooked all her meals. I brought her all her meals. I cooked all her meals. I made, but she wasn't supposed to be on that knee at all. So we're looking at 8 weeks. And after 6 weeks, she was trying to go back to work, and I'm like, no, you're still in pain. And it was so funny because the doctor looked at me, and the doctor looked at me, she goes, is she okay to go back to work? I'm like, no, she's still in pain. She's still struggling. And the doctor said, we're going to go for 2 more weeks. And Mandy was like, no! I'm like, yes, we are. You can barely walk. Keep in mind, if you damage that knee, you're going to have a massive surgery that's going to take 6 months to a year to heal from, and still may have to have follow-up surgeries from that. Okay. It was not funny, but it was funny. That was in our first month of marriage. When I'm still so in love with her and everything she does is perfect, and I just think she shits rainbows and sunshines. When I looked at my wife, I'm like, you shit rainbows and sunshines. I just love you so much. And I didn't want to make her not happy, so I used to bend over backwards to make sure she had everything she needed. that month was the month from hell. Those 8 weeks were from hell because she just drove me insane. And I was still working, so I would rent her apartment, cook, bring her food to eat, set her up, go to work, and then come back to her apartment and make sure she's okay. I wasn't like living with her. I would stay in her apartment sometimes, but I wasn't like living with her. And then of course we found this house here. Well, I found this house here. I actually fell in love with this house here. I don't like the neighborhood. I don't like the outside of the house, but the inside of the house, the hardwood, the structure, the architect of it, I fell in love with this house. The chandeliers, the old wood steps, everything was it's just so beautiful. I just fell in love with it. So we agreed that we would live, but we only wanted 1 year here. We wanted 1 year, and then we wanted to downsize and move into a smaller house, which is not happening. This other house is not smaller than this one, and it's not cheaper. But it does have all the accessibilities that she will need as her MS is progressing. It has the walk-in showers and the shower seats and the ability to do ramps, to put in ramps going down into the garage and do ramps in the front of the house. And so it has all those abilities and setups there. And I can actually put them in place now. I may think about putting a ramp in now, for when she does progress to a wheelchair. But it's just, that first year, we had the best first year of marriage. We did not go, everybody's always like, your first year is going to be horrible, horrific, and horrible. And we had bad things that happened, but I don't even remember them. If I thought about the few, and I say the few bad things that happened in our first year of marriage, I can't really think about every semantic about it. Our first year of marriage was, and I think it's because I'm in my 40s, so I don't look at things the same way. I don't look for negativity. Well, that's a lie. I do. Right? And I need to work on that. Mandy's been trying to get me. We have this plaque that was on his back wall. When we move into the next house, I'll show you guys the plaque. And it says, learn how to dance in the rain. Like, don't wait for the storm. Learn how to dance in the rain. So Mandy's been telling that to me since she's known me. Like, look at the positive, search for the positive. Learn how to enjoy life, regardless of what it deals to you. And she's told me she's almost lost her life several times. When she got diagnosed with diabetes, she had this horrible scare. She literally was driving home from work. She was exhausted. She woke up in the hospital. I think she lost several hours of her life, or days. Is it hours or days? I have to get her to tell you the story. Her glucose level was 19. I don't know how she lived through that, because technically she should have been in diabetic coma. And I think she did go into a diabetic coma, and that's how she crashed and totaled her vehicle. Not even sure how she walked away from that without broken, like ribs, bones, arms, legs, everything. So we're supposed to be dancing in the rain. That's what she said. So this is a plaque that Mandy got us to go with our marriage certificate. And the plaque is just saying that marriage is a promise that two hearts gladly make. A promise to be tender, to help, give, and take. Marriage is a promise to be kind and understanding. I need my glasses. I pack my glasses in one of those totes. Marriage is a promise to be kind and understanding, to be thoughtful and considerate, fair, and undemanding. I gotta work on that because I'm very demanding. Marriage is a promise to share one life together. One life, y'all. A love-fulfilled promise meant to be kept lovingly forever. She found this plaque, I think, at a Goodwill. I'm not sure. But I love it. Almost every plaque that we have through our house, it's just, I won't do it today. One day I will walk through the house and read you guys the plaques. But all the plaques that we've found in the house are things or faith-driven, marriage and companion-driven, and forgiveness-driven. And this one over here is, I found it in Osage Beach, and I love it. It's like the first to apologize. Basically seeing the first to apologize, the first to have compassion for the others, one that's going to live the happiest life and it's going to be the happiest. When you hold on to resentment, it's very hard to find joy internally. So, I love that one. We love that one, but every one of these plaques are thoughtful. So, and then next to our thing hung this sign. It says, all of me loves all of you. Everybody ain't gonna be perfect. We're not perfect. God didn't make us perfect. And there's a reason. Why? Because there's only one God and only He is perfect. But if you're gonna love a part of somebody, you can have to love all of them, because all the components of them makes who they are. And so when you choose your life partner, make sure you choose somebody where you can love the good and the bad, and it's okay. Like, I have a lot of flaws. I really do. And I know that I have a lot of flaws. There's a lot that I'm working on with myself. There's a lot that is a conscious decision to work on. But my amazing wife loves every part of me. The good, the bad, the ugly, the sad. Because they're all intertwined. They all make up me. My neurosis, my compulsion, my OCD, my need to control things is what get things done, where we can live a life where we both are happy and content. We're buying this house, hopefully, y'all. Let's hope that scope is okay tomorrow. They scoping out plumbing lines now. Come on. Let's pray that pans out. That's the only thing that's straggling. So, our other wedding picture. I love our wedding picture. I've never heard of a surprise wedding. She surprised me from our wedding. Never heard of it. Yeah, I'm sleepy. These cats are crazy. The cats pose like it's Playboy. Like Playboy is trying to take a centerfold picture of them. They need to really stop. Bubba needs to stop. Be crazy. My babies are too cute. This is in Osage Beach too. Yeah, I was so much smaller. I put on so much weight. It is not happy weight. So for those who say that what you put on when you're in your first year of measure, second year, or third year of measure is happy weight, no, it's lazy weight. I'm being lazy. I should have been in the gym, and I should have been eating right, and I shouldn't have been doing everything that I've been doing. So it's not happy weight at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had good times and a lot of good food. Don't get me wrong. But all I'm saying is everything's in moderation, and I screwed up. I screwed up bad. Alright, I think now I need a small... I gave Mandy all my small boxes. I'm so sleepy, y'all. I'm gonna make these bins so tight that nothing really moves around in them. I'm stuffing towels in here with these pictures. So the towels will keep them pretty snug and protected too as well. Alright, so I'll add towels to there. That being, then I need to bend up the printer. Because I already put up my computer, which I should have done because I'm supposed to be doing job searches. My full-time job is so, oh my God. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to struggle and fight and have unpredictable schedules where I don't know where I'm working, what's going on. I'm just not ready for all that. They're so drastically understaffed and they don't seem to care. This one woman I know, she does the same. I saw her on TikTok. She does the same thing I do. Is when her arthritis pain is pretty bad, or her lupus pain is real bad. My lupus pain is real bad today. My arthritis is pretty bad today too. But she drinks to kind of dull the pain, and I do the same thing, and I gotta work on that. I don't always drink, but I need to start back taking my vitamins and stuff, and my lupus medication, so I can get the inflammation out of my body. But honestly, they said one thing to get the inflammation out of my body is sugar. I got to give up sugar. Sugar's in everything, so how do you give up sugar? I don't know. So I have to give up sugar. Hell, giving up alcohol, giving up sugar, I will drop 30 pounds instantly. So this can't be my blood pressure medicine. It's in a different bottle. That's weird. So tomorrow, I only work one job tomorrow. That's when I'll come home and pack. Finish packing the dining room. I need Amanda to break down this clothing rack because I don't know how to do it. It shouldn't even be in here because I'm misusing it. I put the clothing rack when I was selling my shirts and stuff so that I can display them and take proper pictures, and I bought a mannequin. The mannequin to display the shirts too. So it's midnight. I need to get out these clothes. I want to take a shower tonight, but if I take a shower, it's going to wake me up. I think I will just brush my teeth and wash my face. I will wash my hands. Get all the oil off my face. I haven't washed my face in forever, though. I put water on my face, but I haven't, used my witch hazel wash. I haven't used that in a month. It's been almost a month, but I do cleanse my face every day with warm water. It's like one little spot to do anything. It's just this little one spot. Everything else is covered with shit. Covered. I haven't taken any medicines today. No blood pressure medicine, no stroke medicine, and no lupus medicine. I didn't even take my lupus either. I haven't taken my lupus medicine I don't know how long. I gotta stop doing that. Oh hell, I'm taking everything with wine. What the hell? I'm tired, y'all. I'm not even thinking. Oh well. So I may get up with Mandy at 4:30. I don't have to leave at 4:30, but I may get up with her. To at least make some coffee. She's not gonna drink it here, guys. She won't eat here. She won't drink coffee here. If I got up and made breakfast for her, she wouldn't even eat. Because she just don't. All right. I'm going to get out these clothes, get my face washed, brush my teeth, and jump into bed with her for a little bit. I'm not gonna. I guess I can sleep down here since she's already asleep upstairs. I don't want to wake her. I think I'll sleep down here. And I'll just get up in the morning when she gets up. And I'll make me some. I got some pink. We went to breakfast this morning. Oh my God. This morning, I was like, baby, get up. I'll take you to breakfast this morning. She's like, okay. First, it was like, baby, get up so we can talk. Nah, I'm sleepy. Baby, come on, let's talk. I'm sleepy. I'll take you to breakfast. Okay. Where are we going? She popped up so quick. And she paid for breakfast. I didn't even pay. She paid. That literally just dawned on me that I didn't even pay for breakfast. But she paid, not me. But she jumped out the bed so fast and she got dressed. I was on a work call. I started getting work calls at like 5:30 this morning. So it was like 6 and I was on work call. It was crazy. She was irritated with that too because they kept calling my phone in the middle of the night, which was waking me up. Which if you wake me up, you wake her up. Because a lot of times I can't get out the bed. It's not because I don't want to get out the bed. I mean, literally, physically, my body cannot move, and I cannot physically get out the bed. If you recorded me, I may have no, I'll be naked in the morning. Never mind, she can't record me in the morning. But why is my boobs? Because my boobs they're like weird. They're like lopsided. Now she can't record me in the morning because I never sleep with clothes on. But I need to start sleeping with clothes on. I need her to record me in the morning. If you guys saw how I walked in the morning, it will blow your mind. I can barely walk in the morning. Barely. Some mornings I can, but other mornings I can't. It takes me forever just to walk to the restroom. And then when I'm having my rib pains, oh my God. I can barely make it to the bathroom to piss. It'd be bad. When I get up, I can't breathe. I can't breathe in and out. Because right here, all my ribs feel like they are, what did they say? They said I had pulled the muscles in between the ribs. I don't think I did. And then my doctor said it was inflammation because I was too fat. I had never had that before, up until this past year. I got it when I was working with this one client who was a full-on assist. Every time I would work with her for like 3-4 days in a row, by the 5th day, it felt like I had pneumonia in my lungs where they couldn't expand and I also felt like that when I had pneumonia too. But every time I work with her, because every time I had to work with her, I had to always bend down, pull her clothes up, dress her, then bend down, lift her to stand her, balance her, and then walk with her. And then if she fell on the floor, I had to pull. Dead 265 pounds off the floor is heavy as hell, y'all. So she on the floor dead weight, not helping at all, not doing anything to assist at all. My dumb ass didn't think about calling non-emergency 911. My dumb ass got her off the floor several times. I didn't put her on the floor. I didn't make her fall. It was not something I did. But if I got to the floor, I got her off the floor. Which, again, my dumb ass fault. Because I should have called non-emergency 911. But me thinking, oh, I'm a big girl. I'm 500 pounds. 500 pounds has strength behind it. Use my own body weight. I pulled everything. My body's so beat up. I've been in this field for 25 years, and I've always done the physical lifts. Always done the physical lifts. Full body lifts. I can't do that shit no more. I can barely stand up and balance my own damn self. I can't do it no more. It hurts. I mean, I can do it if I have to, Like I can get on the floor and do compressions for CPR because I just had to get certified. So I did that. And the woman looked at, y'all, let me say this and I gotta get off of here. So I'm in CPR class and the woman says, she's looking at me, there's me and this other guy's in the front of the class. And we both big people. He got to be close to 500, if not 500 pounds, like 490, 430, whatever. He huge, I'm huge. He big, I'm 500. So he had to be about at least 430, 440, 450, probably 450. He said, no. She looks at us both and says, if you can't get down on the floor and you cannot do compressions, you will not pass CPR. I said, okay. I'm like, didn't I have you last year? I said, weren't you pregnant last year? Didn't I have you last year? He goes, yeah. I said, oh, okay. So you certified me last year, right? Well, yeah. Yeah. I haven't lost any weight. I've gained weight, but I haven't lost any. I'm like, okay. Same person from last year. So, this is a day and a half after my accident. So I was having ridiculous abdominal cramps. When I say abdominal spasms and cramps, I have them in general, period. I usually get really bad abdominal cramps in general. If I pull the wrong way, I turn the wrong way, and they get very intense where I pretty much feel like I gotta vomit because there's so much cramping, it just hurts. So the first round of compressions, I had to get on the floor and I had to do compressions. And keep in mind, I had just had a major car accident. Literally blew off the road. Hit the pole. Right shoulder was my right, no. My left knee was hurting and my right chest was hurting. So all this, from here to here, was hurting. Just happened less than 2 days ago. So I said, well, I did have a car accident. Oh, you had a car accident? Oh. If you can't get on the floor and do compressions, you're not gonna pass this class. So I got down there, I started compressions, and then I started spasming real bad. I said, okay, it's spasming, I gotta get a break, I gotta stand up, stretch it out. So I got up, and I knew I was gonna throw up. I felt it, so I'm like trying to tell myself not to throw up. So I stood up. Then you know how you squat down and you put your back against the wall and you're in a squat because you're trying to extend your back out, which extends your pelvics. I'm not your pelvics, but your chest, and you just kind of trying to open it up. It's spasming like crazy. I'm telling you. 15 minutes after that, she says, okay, classes, we're going to go on break. And she's like, and the other gentleman, she said, you guys need to go ahead and do your compressions again, and I'll recertify you. If you cannot pass your compressions, you won't pass this class. I'm looking at her. I said, look, if I can't do this today, then I'm going to have to come back next week. And there's really nothing I can do about it. Well, I won't pass you if you don't do your compressions. Well, if you're too, what did she tell me? If you have to get down on your hip and do them like this on your hip, then I may pass that. If you have to do compressions in real life, how the fuck are you gonna do it on your hip? You're not gonna get enough leverage to do the compressions. You have to go down 1.5 inches in the chest. That's not easy work. It's exhausting. So she's like, if you can't do it, well, try your hip. I said, no, I'm fine. So I get down. Instead of going down on both my knees, I go down on one knee. I have one knee up, one knee on the floor. So I'm stabilized. I'm not putting any weight on my mannequin. I'm not putting no weight on my mannequin. And I just do my compressions like that. Well, because when I kept this knee off the floor and I had it up, I was able to. So basically, I just took a knee. I was able to keep this extended so my compressions can still happen, but this side be extended, which meant this side was less compression in. And I did the compressions, and then I went down on both knees and did the breaths. So all I did was take a knee, drop my knee down, go down, do the breaths, take a knee. And I still had the beat, I still had the count, I was moving quick. She was like, oh my God, you did 5 cycles? Are you sure? I looked at her, I said, are you playing? Are you serious? She was like, I'm just playing. I watched you do them all. I'm like, why would you say that to me? I said, look, I know I'm a big girl. I know. But I also know in this field, I have to know how to do CPR. I know that. I cannot work here without knowing how to do CPR. I got to certify for it. I have to be qualified for it. Physically, I'm a huge girl. I get it. I get it, and I get that you have a perception towards women who are men who are larger. I get it, but come on, damn. This is your second year with me, okay? I literally really did have a car accident. I wasn't lying. I guess she thought I was lying and making it up and trying to say that. Give me, because she literally looked at us and said, if you cannot get on the floor and you cannot do compressions, you will not pass this class. Nobody asked you not to get on the floor. I never once asked that. I never once said anything. I didn't say anything. I didn't even say my car accident came up because someone else was asking me why I was in a different vehicle. And I told them why, which because I had that pretty major car accident. My body was in pain. I know we're big people. I get it. And I know that we have stigmas and thoughts about us, and people have stigmas and thoughts about us, and preconceived notions about us. I get it. And trust me, I don't enjoy being this size, and I don't promote this size, and I don't want to be this size. But if we're going to fail, let us fail. If we're going to succeed, let us succeed. But don't sit there and judge us before you even know what the hell we present. Don't. And the least she could have done was apologize for her choice of how she communicated. She didn't even do that, so I said whatever. And it was funny. It was funny because after I went on and did the 1 knee compressions, which again, no weight was on my mannequin, no extra weight was on my mannequin, and no, my compressions had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It had perfect rhythm, breath, perfect rhythm. She's like, well, she says, can you get off the floor? I got on the damn floor. The first time I got down on the floor and the first time I got off the floor, I got back down on the floor. What do you mean, can I get off the floor? You watched me get off the floor the first time. You looking at me, watching me get off the floor, telling you I need to take a break. I'm having spasms in my I was having like ridiculous spasms and cramps. I mean, I wanted to throw up so bad. I said, what do you mean, can I get off the floor? I just stood up and walked out. I just stood up and walked away from her. I didn't walk out of the room. I went to the back of the room and made a phone call because my other job was calling me. But I went there, made the phone calls and did what I had to do. But I'm just like, really? Can I get up? No. You're going to have to call 911 and get me non-emergency to get me off the floor. I can't do it. I can't get up. I can't. Just stuck down here. 911 me. So she irritated me. I don't know what this thing is. Yes, I'm large. Yes, I'm huge. Yes, I have a lot of girth. Yes, it is not ideal. And yes, it's not something anybody wants. My mom doesn't want me this size. It's nothing my mother wants for me. It's nothing I want for myself. But come on. Craziness. And the reality is, I was the only one in class who has ever had to do CPR. I've had to do CPR on clients. I've had to. One of my clients dropped from a massive heart attack. He was already gone. Because his body was already cold to touch, but I had to do CPR until 911 arrived. Do you know what it's like to do CPR on somebody who's already gone? But you had to do it in case. I don't think that was the case for him. Because even the doctor told me, he brought me in the room, he said, because I warned the doctor that his ribs did crack. Didn't crack with me, crap. We were rotating out. I did a cycle. The gentleman that was with me did a cycle, and he cracked the ribs, and I heard it when it cracked, and the only thing that I said to him was, reposition your hands and continue compressions. Because he panicked. He was like, oh my God. He heard the crack, and I heard the crack. I'm like, reposition. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just the gases in the air letting out in the lungs. Just reposition your hand and continue the compressions. And I was doing the breaths while he was doing the compressions. Yes, yeah, I was doing the breaths. And unfortunately, he didn't have a face mask, so I didn't have a face mask on me. So that was rough. That was rough. And after I went with him to the ER, and the doctor came out and said he had a massive coronary, that he was probably already gone before he even hit the floor. So when he had the heart attack, before he even hit the floor, he was already gone. And the doctor said, we can tell you guys tried to save him, and thank you for that. His family said thank you for that. He was one of my clients. I went back to the house. I supported my staff. I consoled my staff. By the time it was 1 o'clock, all my staff had left the building. I was only me and the overnight staff in the building. All the clients had went to bed. I consoled everybody. I'm calm. I'm great. I go in the bathroom to use the restroom. And then I just started wailing, crying. Just it all hit me when I was in the bathroom by myself. And I knew my staff was safe. I knew my clients were safe. I knew everybody was where they needed to be. And then I started vomiting. I vomited for like an hour. The staff, the overnight staff, who's very compartmentalized thinking. She's very kind of robot. She lost her mom very young. And so she looks at death differently, and she doesn't. It's a part of life, and she understands that. She was the only one in the building. She knocked on the door. She's like, Halima, I'm like, let me go. You just let me go. This is my only opportunity to release this. I have been bottled up inside of me the entire day, making sure everybody had what they needed. And the reality of it was I did CPR on a man that was already gone. It was already gone. And that is traumatic. That's traumatic. In that class, I was the only one that ever had. I also have done CPR on somebody who wasn't gone, and I did get a pulse back. But I was the only one in that class who's ever had to do CPR. So you can judge my size all you want, but the clients who I've done CPR on, whose lives I have saved, who I've done Heimlich on, who I've done CPR on, who I provide care for, those clients are grateful that I was there regardless of my size, regardless of me being 500 pounds. They were grateful because they're fucking breathing and they're alive. Now him, that was horrific. That was horrible, but he lived a good life. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, literally the last week, he was like, I want to go to the train museum. I want to do this. I want to do this. He walked on the train tracks, took him to the train museum. Everything fun that he wanted to do in his life. I was like, sure. I'm always like, yeah, we can do it. I'm always down for something. Let's go to the train museum. You can walk around all you want. Look inside trains. We did everything that he enjoyed doing that week. We didn't make it to Six Flags though, but we pretty much got to everything he really, really enjoyed. He loved trains. And his family was like, thank you, because God knew it was okay to take him because he did everything he wanted to do. Everything that he had been calling him to do and wanting to do, that we just didn't have time to do, somehow we fit it all in that week. And I took him everywhere. Anything he wanted to do, I took him. We walked around for hours at Train Museum. Hours. I didn't lose him, but he kept like running away from me several times. And several times I'm running behind him. I'm like, I can see you. I'm with you. So he never lost me, but before you judge my size, all I gotta say is talk to the clients who I provide care for, and I have been for the last 25 years. Don't do that. The ones I care for now, who I lift off the floor, not you, who I walk, assist, and hold them up and balance them. I'm like, how many times has one of my clients felt faint and start dropping to the floor, and I'm right behind them, and I literally have to go into a deep squat. And basically sit them on my right knee. I favor to my right knee. So I'm always putting my right knee underneath them and sitting them down on my right knee. My size is what allows me to do that. People who are 125 pounds, they can't do that. They can't hold up that person. I'm sitting in a fucking deep squat for like 20, 30 minutes while I'm balancing them, or I'm getting them to the point, or I'm walking, assisting, where I'm half lifting them as I'm walking to sit them down in a chair. Come on now. Know me and know my worth before you judge my size. That's all I gotta say. That woman that irritated me. That was a lot. I didn't mean to see how that went into 50 minutes. This is a long video. I'm sorry, y'all. I love y'all. All right, deuces. I'm gonna say goodnight. Good night. Deuces. Mandy would say, see you on the flip side. I did not mean to talk for 50 minutes, but I did. All right, bye-bye. Why are you sitting there watching me sleep? Do I watch you sleep? Are you making sure nobody messes with me, baby? Making sure mommy's safe. She's so precious.